Hey there, happy days. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Should you give everything but the kitchen sink to supersize and grow your business? Interesting question. Expression everything but the kitchen sink came about in the 20th century. It's a 20th century expression, so it's relatively new compared to a lot of the things that I talk about, a lot of the idioms and the words and the expressions that are commonly found in our businesses and in our lives today. Everything but the kitchen sink popped up in the 1940s following World War II, which makes a lot of sense because there were shortages of things during World War II and things were rationed. People had to wait in line for things, which I think created a sense of scarcity that led to people feeling like they needed to get and collect and save things. And as a not person from that era, but as a child of parents from that era, I also inherited their propensity for keeping things, saving things, everything but the kitchen sink, whether it's needed or not. So the expression means to keep or take everything, whether you need it or not. Lots of things, almost every possible item. You can imagine when you're moving, and if you've moved before, I recently moved out of my house of 25 years, and it was my family home, raised my kids there, and so there was a lot of stuff that had been collected. I'm not talking a little bit of stuff, I'm talking a lot of stuff. Truckloads and truckloads and truckloads of things that needed to be removed from the property and donated to charity. And they were things that I had forgotten we even had. I mean, there were things there that I had totally forgotten. There were things there with brand new tags on, things in boxes that had never been opened or used. But I don't want to say I was a hoarder, but definitely a borderline hoarder when it came to certain things in particular. Office supplies, bathroom things, cleaners. I mean, just things that I had a whole pantry and whole cupboards full of stuff that we didn't even use. So everything at the kitchen sink. Is it appropriate to give your customers, should you give your customers everything but the kitchen sink? Should you give them absolutely everything you could possibly give them in your offers and in the services that you provide? And I'm going to say yes and no. How's that for a straight answer? Yes, you should continually be offering your ideal customers and your existing customers more and more and more of what they want. And then you sell them what they want and you give them what they need. Always be doing that. But don't do it all at once. One of the biggest mistakes I made as I went from the offline brick and mortar world in corporate America to the online world was creating courses and even challenges and programs that had so much in them that people could never possibly consume it all. Gave it to them at an incredibly cheap, almost free price, but it didn't matter. It was so much, it was overwhelming, and a confused mind always says no. So if you overwhelm your customers up front or your potential customers up front, they won't do business with you. And if you don't get that initial sale, you're not going to get repeat sales in most cases, right? Well, you can't repeat if they don't buy from you in the first place. So yes, we should deliver incredibly great value and solve our ideal clients' problems to the best of our ability, and we should always be looking for ways to do that better, but we shouldn't overwhelm them and give them too much at one time. How do you not do that? Just ask them. Ask them and then provide what their problems are and then provide the solution to that problem. And guess what? The solution to that problem will automatically create other problems and other situations for them that you can then go on and solve for them. So instead of trying to solve all of their problems of how they grow their business or how they manage their accounting or how they do their staff, whatever it is that your business does and specializes in, instead of giving them everything, all the answers at once, sell them the next thing that they need, and then the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And eventually you'll package that all into one thing, and there will be organizations, there will be clients that can take advantage of that big package. But for the most part, I know I need it in pieces. We all need solutions in pieces. We don't need to be overwhelmed by solutions. So again, the answer, should you give your clients and customers everything but the kitchen sink? Yes, you should provide and meet all of their needs to the best of your ability to stay competitive and to supersize and grow your business, but you should give it to them when and how and if they need it and want it. They have to both want it. First they have to want it emotionally, then A lot of times we ask for what we want, but we have no idea what we need. Our job as business owners is to give people exactly both things. We don't withhold what they need. We need to make sure they get what they need as part of what they want, but we always sell them what they want. So if you have any experience with this saying, I would love to hear it. I have tons of experience with the everything but the kitchen sink, both the good side and the bad side. In real estate for about a decade with my ex-husband, and we did distressed properties. We rehabbed and sold and did short sales and foreclosures and distressed properties. And a lot of times we wished that the people vacating the properties would have taken everything, including the kitchen sink. In about 90% of the cases in the properties we did, they could have taken the kitchen sink, all the cabinets, anything else they wanted, and we would have appreciated them gutting the house. But that never seemed to happen. They took what they wanted and then left all the rest behind. Then we would come in and clean it up, because that was our job. That's what we like to do. So everything but the kitchen sink. Love this expression. Would love to know what you think about it. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below or message me, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. You can also find me as Pajama Grandma. So have an amazing day.